All right, welcome back to the Virtue Bowling Supply YouTube channel. My name is Chris and I'm here to bring the high-rev perspective.
And my name is Josh and I'll be bringing the low-rev perspective.
Today we're going to be taking a look at the DV8 Heckler Haunt, and I'm going to be comparing that to the Gremlin 2RX and the Storm Ion Max Pearl.
And I'll be comparing it to the Storm Bionic and the Hammer Full Effect. These comparisons will give us and you an idea of what these pieces look like going down the lane. At the end, we will give our honest, unbiased review anywhere from nuts to trash. Today we are here at Bolero Violinda on a fresh house shot. With that being said, make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys out on the lanes.
I thought this ball motion was pretty good. I liked the original Heckler hybrid. That ball I gave a nuts. I remember in the video I threw at Bolero Mesa. I thought it was pretty good. And this one, shape-wise, is pretty similar, but it's just a little earlier and a little smoother off the end of the pattern. So shape-wise, I really like this core shape. They definitely did a good job with this one. I feel like it was pretty good. I think I only missed one time, but that was pretty much on me. I moved a little bit further left and kind of got a little forward with my hand and didn't quite make the corner, but to me, it was slow enough off friction that I could really get around it and not be afraid that it was going to hockey stick. And my misses left were good because it wasn't allergic to oil. So I feel like both misses were actually pretty good with this one. So now we're going to go ahead and throw the Gremlin 2RX and see how that compares. To me, this one is more one of those that I could shape a little bit more than the Heckler, just because it's not quite as early, and the core being a little bit smaller, I feel like I can move left and have my ball speed a little slower, but I actually use the friction to make it turn the corner and look pretty good. The Heckler being a little bit more forward going through the pins, I think the Gremlin 2RX is just a little more continuous. So now I'm gonna go and throw the Ion Max Pearl and see how that compares. All right, now to me, the Ion Max Pearl definitely feels slower off the friction. Even though the Heckler comes with a little bit of surface out of box, I do feel like the Ion Max Pearl just doesn't want to see it quite as much. And so I definitely needed to be a little bit further to the right with the Ion Max Pearl. Because with the cover, it wanted to float a little bit, but it didn't want to change directions quite as much. All right, overall, I feel like ball motion was pretty good. I was kind of surprised when they said they were coming out with another Heckler hybrid, basically. This one being a little bit more surface and a little earlier than the original Heckler hybrid. I really liked that one, and this one looks pretty good. I definitely would not have them both in the same bag, just because they are pretty similar. Like, I think if you put surface on the original Heckler hybrid, it'd probably borderline really close to this one. But out of box, I feel like this one's really good. I'm gonna have to put it in the fire category just because of how good it looked here.
For me, this ball is definitely a little bit on the stronger side. It did shape a lot down lane, but for all the Hecklers I've thrown so far, to me, this is the earliest one. I didn't get the chance to throw the solid, but for me, this one definitely hooked early enough to provide that kind of early hook. It did hook a lot down lane as well for me, though. That was my only kind of critique about it, is that I did feel like it was, even though it was early, it was quick to friction, so it did force me to kind of open up my angles a little quick. First couple shots, I thought I could just amp up the ball speed, and it still wanted to kind of go off the spot too hard for me. So once I got to that spot, it looked good. I just don't really see myself throwing this a ton just because the shape is very different, I would say. I don't see it being a ball for me just because I feel like this is a ball where like you kind of want to jump left, throw right to the friction, and that just is not my comfort zone. So next we're going to go ahead and throw 5 shots with the Storm Bionic and see how it compares. For me, this ball kind of picked up in a similar zone, I would say, but definitely way more smoother and more forward. Definitely did not shape as much off spot. I kind of had to be a little softer, I'd say, with my speed just to allow it time to get back. If I didn't, it was going to kind of give me that 210 or flat 10 kind of reaction, where the Heckler I felt like you know, the only time I would do that is if I kept it in oil long enough, where I feel like the Bionic, even when I got it to friction, it was still, you could see how much slower and smoother it was off spot. So now we're gonna go ahead and throw 5 shots with the full effect and see how it compares. For me, this ball is a little similar in the way it was quick to friction, but the full effect, I believe, definitely had a bigger core, bigger engine. I could see how much more tumbly and more forward rolling it was compared to the Heckler. The Heckler was just a lot sharper off spot and just overall, again, shaped more downlane than the full effect. The full effect still gave me a rounder shape and still was stronger, I would say. And like I said, if I missed in, to me, that's kind of the biggest thing, is when I miss in, does it actually shape off of it, or does it do what the full effect for me, which, you know, kind of got lazy and started at 210. That instantly tells me it's a bigger ball. So definitely, I would say a ball up. If you kept them at different surfaces, they could even get further apart, but definitely a step up. Final thoughts on the Heckler Taunt. For me, this ball wasn't that bad, honestly. I felt like I kind of didn't know what to expect. The Hecklers in the past have been kind of wishy-washy for me, hit or miss. And for this one, it kind of was tough, because once I got into the right part of the lane, I did start striking. So for that reason, I am going to give this ball a fire. It's, again, not necessarily the, you know, my favorite ball to throw or favorite type of shape to see go down the lane, but at the end of the day, it still gave me really good ball motion. I felt like it shaped really well through the pins once I got in the right zone. So fire for today.